Hello, welcome again with me, Prince Joki, and my colleague Elvins are right here in the studio. This show, remember, shares release live stories, be it big or small. Today, I'm joined by one special guest who is right here with us in the studio. Gentlemen, you're most welcome. Maybe
Thank
your
you so
name.
much. Yes,
I
thank you
think
so
you're
much.
not new. People who are reviewing you, they already know who this guest is.
Yeah, and for formality purpose, my name is Man Mabirman. I go by music name Menimen of a group called Coozos Clan.
It's a pleasure to have you right here.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you so much.
But anyway, many men, thank you. Yesterday, when I talked to somebody that I told them that you are going to come for a show here, they started singing many men, and then it's like, are we hosting? No. Then I told it no, many men.
Yeah.
So what inspired that name for first of all, many men?
Many men actually is drawn from uh, uh, my real name.
Right.
That is Man Mabir Man. It's just a man in between that is Mabir in between missing, but then you have men and the other men as many men. So it's just a coincidence that it happens to catch with the 50 Cent kind of song.
Yeah.
But yes, names can do wonders.
Name is powerful, and you've mentioned the 50 Cent. Also if you look at your kind of music, it's you're not doing traditional music, right?
Yes.
Doing like urban music.
Yeah.
So this show is that's basically where we want to talk about. We want to talk about the rebirth of urban music. So you are one. I can consider you the grandfather of urban music, if I'm
Yeah.
not wrong.
Yeah. So basically, we Africans, we believe music started in Africa. Then there was this time the West overpower Africa. I remember maybe in the 90s, the 80s, maybe you could still remember. Okay, I got this as from 90s because as from maybe 1995, 6 is when I started listening to music when I was a kid. But then that was the eras where people watched the Channel O's,
Yeah.
the what and etc. I was in a refugee camp, and so I was so much eager to listening to music, and that's when I got to know the Western artists, the 50 Cents, Ja Rule, and etc. So you'll agree with me by then the West music dominated African music. We had only few of our own that we could hear, the Willie Longombas, the South African Shaka what the lady. There was this very serious
Yvonne Chaka Chaka.
Yeah. Very, very serious music, yes, but there were few. So the domination was that side. So yes, but we still have that belief that music was created in Africa. The birth of the music itself is in Africa. And so until today, you will know that music have come back to Africa. That is why we have the Nigerian the Nigerian style, which is the
Afrobeat, yeah.
controlling the world right now. But it also gave us a lesson. I think people like us pick the inspiration from there, because knowing that you have you can use your voice to be able to utter what you think, to be able to represent your community. And then we were in a refugee camp where you're just a child, where your everyday lifestyle is after school you go to football, play. There's nothing. I mean, there's nothing you can think about apart from playing football. And we have very talented people that have came out from there, the basketballers and etc. And so we got some. I think a few of us got inspiration from there, and also listening to our very own artists that were, by then, of course, there was war actively in the South Sudan side and Sudan. And so we could get tapes of our very own artists, the Emmanuel Kembes, the Gordon Kong, the John Kuduses. And so it gave us hope. We were like,
Yeah.
you could still follow the same route and be a great person. But again, now the difference was the type of music that we got inspired of is completely different from what our other elder brothers are doing. They do the music which is right now categorized as traditional music. I did not know there was traditional music, urban and etc. I didn't know. All I knew, I just wanted to do music, whichever way. But of course, I will draw inspiration and style from what I every day listen to. And so around the 2000s there, from 2000 to 2001, the likes of Chameleon came out and etc. And so I was like, you know what, I can do this. And so that is when I started engaging in refugees. There was this celebration days of refugee days, and then you do competitions. You are given freestyle competitions. You go on stage. I didn't see them here by there, but they are very serious ways where you can be able to promote talents. They used to move them from groups to groups, where you can have kids. If you are talented enough, you come on stage, you rap, show what you got, and so you get. I think after a rap battle, you can get a T-shirt, or maybe you get even biscuits, like I was saying here, and so those motivates you. For me, they gave me motivation until one day I was like, I could see how studio looked like. Let me try. Me and there's a cousin of mine that got killed in 2016. It's called Lil J, who was in Coozos, was in Coozos Clan group with us. He also was a very serious rapper, and so my interest plus his interest and that of my cousin that is in the US right now called Kulbush combined, and it was so powerful that we thought we could break the barrier. Because in Kakuma, I mean, no one believed that you could have an artist from there, because it's just a refugee camp. There are limited talents,
Limited
opportunities for talents.
Yeah.
And so even talking about a studio alone, you could not think of. But for us also being a bit privileged, we could travel to Nairobi. I studied somewhere around, not in Kakuma. So we also were able to like also get other avenues, see how studio look like, get friends and etc. And so one day we were able to do our first recording. And you know what, it was on by then we used to draw beats online. There's this the Jamaican beats, the
Free beats.
Yeah, the free beats. The likes of the Shakademas, the what. I think our first song was on that. We recorded, and so we're able to move with a CD like this, But then
you're selling, or you're taking to media houses?
No, you cannot sell. We do not even know where media is, my brother. Talking about being on TV like this, and maybe or maybe even having your song played on radio was a very serious achievement.
By this time, you're still in Kakuma?
Yeah, in Kakuma.
Okay.
Where we could travel, we go to Nairobi, come back like that. But the purpose of the CD was to make sure that each and every event, each and every given opportunity that we see, there are people, we can be able to give a CD and perform. So we're trying to sell now our brand. Our brand. We did not even think it would be a brand actually, but then we just want to make sure you are in a place where you perform, you're happy, people are happy. If you see people are happy, people will clap because they don't even understand your song. It's not a hit song. So, people will just cheer up to support you. And so in many occasions, it pushed us, that motivated us, until now we moved. When our parents moved to Nairobi, totally, we now could wait for these events where, let's say, South Sudanese are having an event, and then you are invited, completely there was no chance. But also by then, uh, and that's why God works in different ways. As we planned, we were so busy trying to say that we could be first South Sudanese who have seen, who are trying to now say, let's take up a music opportunity. Already, there were the Emmanuel Jals that had already released a hit, and we were able in Kenya to sit down and watch a South Sudanese on TV. There was a hit called Goa that was done by Emmanuel Jal, Lam, and a guy called Manasseh. You know, this song was a very big hit in Kenya. And so us one day seated and sing a song on TV and then plays every day, it also now gave us another morale. And we're like, you know what? We can be able to have a song played there. We tried, of course, music. And so that's why I kept on even telling a lot of young people today that are doing music. It is a combination of efforts. It is also, it also, it has to, you have to really sacrifice yourself, because it will not come easy. It will not come in 1 year or maybe 6 months and you think you'll make it. It has to, you have to have time, just like going to school.
Yeah.
From primary, nursery, primary, secondary, and then university.
Yeah. But at this point, you have not defined your genre. You are still just
Completely no.
So
We were doing any available beats.
So at what point did you realize that, okay, you know what, guys, we can do it, but now let's take this direction?
Now, the direction came by itself, because by then, also Kenya started. I don't know whether maybe you could remember, there was this time East African music started picking up. From the Chameleon, the Ogopa DJ started having
DJs,
a lot of artists.
Yeah.
And even the Baby Cool, the Bobby Wine
You were also
started
in
coming
Kenya by
up.
then.
Yeah, I was in Kenya. I have performed. I have performed in my first performance on a non-South Sudanese crowd. Was in a club called, there was a club that was called F2
Florida.
in Kenya. I performed with the Chameleons, the Red Suns. I was a very small kid, but then I was given that opportunity. I now was there by myself. I didn't go with my cousins, and I also was so quick to create friendship with some Kenyans that were stars by then. They were very big stars. They were called Wakimbizi. They had songs like the Hello Hello, Nampenda John, the very big songs.
It was a big hit, yeah.
Yeah, and until today, we became family friends. They visited me in Juba, we meet in Kenya. These are my guys. So these guys were able to take me, because by then, they were on the same level with the Chameleons. So they were able to take me to that stage. I was able to perform which I thought they were not really very serious things. But I was able to perform there. I was able now to meet other 1, 2, 3 people. But now remember, as I was in Kenya, I was still a refugee. As a refugee, there you have a lot of limitations. It is not like the way I am. Right now, Menimen, who is a South Sudanese brand, if I travel to Kenya, I get received at the airport, the media comes, they talk to me. You go to Uganda, the media comes, they talk to you. It was not like that. In fact, even it happens sometimes where refugees are being cornered around, and so they look for you. You hide from police because they will ask, are you here legally or not? So this limit a lot of opportunities. You cannot even go to media. You cannot even, no money. You cannot even look for money.
Yeah, sure.
But one day, we were lucky enough to get some small cash, and so we were able to record a song of our own that had our original beats in a studio in a place called Kawangware in Nairobi, right? And so this song opened ways for us. I still remember the title. It was called Figure One. I think in 2006 or 2007, but I think it was 2006. We were also able to make a video. Now tell me, in 2006, which of the South Sudanese artists had made a video apart from the Emmanuel Jal, many artists did not, because you see we were still scattered.
Yes.
Many artists even did not know you can be able to make a video. You know, and so somebody took us on set and say, you know what, the song is good, I can do this for us. And the song drew us a very serious attention from South Sudan's communities. We started performing in Eldoret, Nakuru, Nairobi, and all these places, you know. And then now we started associating so seriously with Kenyan artists. I remember one of Kenyan artists that passed on sometimes was also my friend. She was called Lady S.
Oh, Lady S.
She was a very serious artist, because by then we started moving also to Calif Records. We started doing records. I started meeting Juakali. He started becoming my friend until today.
All right.
You know, but again, being a refugee also played a negative part on our promotion. You know, not until we were so quick. By the way, and what helped me in the industry until today is that I am so quick to make decisions. I know where there is no path. I know where maybe it is written no head, no road ahead, and I can be able to turn and like that. And that is what kept me for this industry for the last 18 or maybe 20 years until today. You know, being relevant, and you can be able to go for shows, you can be able to fill a full house, a stadium.
Can you give us the secret? What did you do?
Now, it started with I told my cousins, this industry where we are in Kenya will not make anything for us. And so by then, the peace deal was signed in 2005. We did this in 2006. Peace deal was signed, even we had a chance to perform, but we were not able. At last minute, we were cancelled. Now, there was these rumors of people coming to South Sudan. I had dropped out of school. I told my cousins, you know what? The best way, let's go back to South Sudan. You know? Let's see how it is. Because South Sudan, I think that is when they brought the body of the late Dr. John, many of people in Kenya started coming back. And so I told these guys, the earlier the better. Let's go back. Let's see if there's a music industry there. It might work for us. Because here, you will not be a serious artist. People see you as a joke. Because there are already Kenyan artists there. All this. And also, you know, until today, there is still this negative. Even with the Kenyan media, even with Ugandan media, or let's say where the East Africa, even I've been to Tanzania. There is this when it comes to a South Sudanese artist, you are not taken serious. This I will tell you, some of it came with us, with ourselves, the South Sudanese artists, because there are South Sudanese artists that have got chance, but they are not a serious artist. These are tools of mocking the society, you know. And so like this is how they take. Until today, you go with a serious song that you play on the TV. This guy might know because he's an artist. They will ask you, this song is from South Sudan, because they don't believe there's anything serious that will come out of South Sudan. You know, the story about South Sudan is war.
Yeah.
So far, that is what is out there. I have been to US. I've been to almost around 8 states in the US. I've performed in Washington. I've gone to Miami. I've gone to where Hollywood is, the Florida. I've gone to Chicago. All these places. But the story that is there, a serious story, is war.
Unfortunately, that's the
Yes. So you see now, when we came, we didn't know Arabic. And I've come to notice here that you have to speak Arabic. I only could speak Swahili and English. And these were the songs that we created there. There was a song called For How Long, which was also a hit around here. It was English. And I have noticed, like I told you earlier on, I told you, one thing that helped me is that I am so quick to make decisions. Now I noticed that for us to be a household name, you have to speak Arabic so you can mingle with the community. You have to do music in Arabic so people can understand, because you are not doing it for yourself. So I and my cousins, I came first, and my other cousin that's called Kulbush joined army briefly, because he noticed there was nothing here. So I started, there was customs, which where the mausoleum is right now, was still custom, the whole of it, until where there is the Jamajuba there. It was custom always, and we were staying there. The first thing I did, because I also had talent, I was also a DJ. So I started incorporating myself with the nightclubs around there. There was this Rokubas around custom that were nightclubs. I was a DJ there. In one of the clubs that I remember was called Lions or something, some name.
In a Rokuba club?
Yes. My aim was to learn Arabic so I can be able to create. I and maybe my cousin, we can be able to create a song that will be a hit. Right? This was my aim, because everywhere you go, you have to have an aim.
Yeah, sure.
And so I started working in that club, getting to know people, getting to move here and there, talk to people, etc., until I learned few Arabics. In the process, we were writing a song that was called Binia Juba. This song was an anthem in South Sudan. That was our first release in South Sudan. Binia Juba, it was an anthem everywhere else. Nobody would notice that we did not know Arabic by then. This was an Arabic that we pick. I would write a song in English, ask people that I sit with, what is the name of this? How do you call this? How do you call that? The Binia Juba came from an idea of Nonini, which is the Manzi wa Nairobi, of Nonini in Kenya. And so I thought, if you talk about the beauty of our South Sudanese girls, it can catch attention. And so as soon as we released that song, after writing it, we went back to Kenya in a studio that was called Still Alive Records in Eldoret. We recorded Binia Juba, brought it here, it became a hit. In fact, the song was brought by somebody else. I had remained in Kenya because I do not know a sound of somebody sitting, listening to your song in a radio. It had never happened in my life. So when somebody called me in Kenya and said, your song is playing on radio. The biggest radio was Radio Mirai only. And for you to reach Radio Mirai, you have to have a serious music. Because it was dominated by the Ugandan music, chameleon everywhere, and then the traditional music. There was nothing like urban music. I can swear until today with the facts that there was no single urban music. The urban music that I had heard by then was a song from Lengs that I thought was a Ugandan music. There was song from an artist called Doggy something MB Dog. He was called Doggy something. The artist also was very serious.
South Sudanese artist.
I think the artist is from Arua.
Okay.
He was called Dogman. Yeah. Another urban song that I had heard by then was a song from a guy called David Pachong, who is late right now. There was a song called Garanga Dana Horia, which also was dominating, right? And so now the kind of urban also differs. So when we brought in Binia Juba, it became a complete different thing. Now remember the idea that we brought from Kenya, the production and etc. Plus the guy also was so quick to understand the South Sudanese. It catches the market. And so when somebody called me, I could not believe. So I traveled. And by then, even a passport I don't have. No passport. I think we didn't have passport, but no documents. By then you had, for South Sudanese, you have to have an SPLM membership card for people, for you to identify yourself as a South Sudanese.
Okay.
Even at the border, you have to have that membership card. And so by then my age had not reached there, so I didn't have. So I was using the Lukchogyo road and I traveled. One night I was sleeping in Torit and I heard the song being played in the hotel that I was sleeping in. So that was when it clicked my mind that this song, people know it. And when now I had it on radio, I shed tears by then. Because I did not believe somebody can listen. Somebody could sit down and listen to my music on radio. And so when I came, my brother, and then in Juba now I was hearing people calling, requesting Binia Juba. La, 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 la. I was shocked. I was like, I really, I have made it somewhere.
So by this time, have you already coined the name Coozos?
Yes, we had created Coozos Clan now.
Coozos Clan.
We had created Coozos Clan in Kenya.
And the name Coozos Clan is actually you. Those are your real cousins.
My cousins.
Oh, okay.
My cousins all. The little J, which is late, Kulbush, and then me myself. So we were cousins, and so from there, I called this cousin of mine, the other cousin who we left in Kenya now, the late, and tell him, if this have worked for us, let's go back for other recordings. We recorded another song that was called Anabiule Kitenge, and a song that is called Alela Yomra. All these songs became other anthems. And Alela Yomra until today, even by the way when I was performing in EA, like you were talking about 2016, Alela Yomra is a 2000 and maybe 8 song, and it was still on countdown in 2016.
Obvious.
Or was it 20 what? It was on countdown.
Yeah.
So you see, we made songs that survive for years. There are songs that survive for decades. There are songs that are still on charts right now that even beat my new songs. And so that is the power of that art. And so that is also advantage that you get with creating a path, you know. And so we started thinking that, you know what, we are okay now, people know us, but remember, we're still battling with what is our identity, where is our direction. We are known, yes. Do we even think, do we have idea where an artist is supposed to manage? You know, there were no managers. Remember, South Sudan was very empty. Even where the airport is right now was still, all the way where Mirai is right now was still forest. You know, there were no people there. And so we started, we didn't have direction, but we could just push, releasing music. And albums were hits. But in the process, one thing that went right is that we were creating the urban music without knowing. People started getting used to that sound. Other artists started getting influence and inspiration. Very prominent artists that I later now came to meet when they start coming into the industry have confirmed to me, telling me their testimonies, that as soon as Binia Juba, the Alela Yombra, these songs started coming to the industry, they started picking interest. Some of them were performing these songs in schools, miming thing. You know, they were miming these songs at school. I remember, I think Silver X told me that he was miming one of the songs in school.
One of your songs.
Even Kulbi told me something like that. You know, which artist? I've got very many artists that have told me this. This is very positive. This is what is called inspiration. You're inspiring and also creating. I mean, these artists also started identifying themselves. They started seeing their own, because this was now what the youth need in South Sudan. Young people needed that, you know. And now, second thing, in the process, we were also trying to secure our ground as South Sudanese. Was trying to secure our music and our ground, because we were slowly kicking out the Ugandan music that had dominated the South Sudan industry. And so we succeeded. And I keep on even telling artists today, the artists that we have today, some of them were talking, they were saying that, you know what, but we didn't see what artists 10 years or maybe 15 years ago did. But I was telling one of female artists I was discussing with in the studio. I told her, my sister, one thing that you did not know, because maybe by then they were still not there. They did not even think of doing music. I told them that there are two achievements that you have to know. One, these are urban music help chase away foreign music, because there was dominance of foreign music that you would not be visible today yourself. It was only it was only a ground for the fittest, right? And so what our music did to fight that music would not be done by them today. This is one. Second, we were also able to sell the urban music to our society, so they can accept. And so that's why we have people today listening to urban music. You know, these are two achievements that were very hard to make, because as soon as we started having that ground, artists started picking interest. They started coming in, right? They started coming in. And so myself, I normally call it a very successful operation for creating of the urban music.
Urban music culture in South Sudan.
Yes.
But again, if maybe, if you listen to Ugandan music, you'll definitely know, even if you don't know that this is a Ugandan
You'll know it
artist.
is Ugandan music.
They have their beat. If you listen to Kenyan music, you will know.
Yeah, the genge.
This is Kenya or Nigeria or Amapiano of South Africa. One of the things that disturbs me, like South Sudan, I don't know whether it also disturbs you. I know you're pushing that path of urban music, but maybe do you think now it is now time to, even as we go urban, now we need to have a distinct South Sudan beat? Yeah, it is urban, yes, because I understand where you operate from. If you are not careful, I'm just telling from maybe as a fan, the traditional music
Will take over.
Will take over.
Well,
Yeah.
well, you are clearly speaking like me. Just the way I was doing my analysis, and I was telling you earlier. Sometimes you need to be very fast in making decisions, and you also need to, as a successful artist, you also need to have your own analysis. There is one thing that I said sometimes back. You see, times are different. Different times require different strategies, and different wars requires different times. For example, let me give you an example of the country. What successfully our fathers did fighting with Arabs. They fought the war successfully. They were given a country. This is not the same strategy they will use right now.
Yeah.
And it succeeds. Perhaps that is why you will find there are challenges here and there in the governance system, because that same strategy would not work right now. This time requires different strategies. Now, same in music. I told one of my close colleagues, I told him, you know what? If you are not careful, what is happening right now is a revolution, just the same way we did revolution long time, few years ago, to put aside traditional music and put aside local music, Ugandan music, is the same way right now. Traditional music have come back so powerful to put aside urban music. And now, as they do that, two things are involved. Just the same way I was telling you right now, that different times requires different strategies. Right now is a very sensitive time. This is a time where the world is all united in an app called TikTok. Right? So it is very easy to sell a false agenda and your neighbor will listen. Like what we are discussing right now, if we want TikTok, our neighbor out here would be hearing what we are talking about right now. Right? Now, this is a time that is very critical. And so urban music, traditional music has taken a lead right now as we speak. One of my very good friends who is a TikToker in Kenya is dancing to traditional music right now on TikTok.
From South Sudan.
From South Sudan.
Straight.
And so any other person will say this is the style South Sudanese have.
Yes, yeah.
Because if the urban music does not reach there, the only available because you see the world have met, all the world is centered on TikTok. And so if the world is centered on TikTok and I want to dance to a South Sudanese music, I will not find Menimen.
Yeah.
I will not find my brother here. Let's say you cannot find Blessed Boy music. Because it is not popular. Not many people are using it on TikTok. If you just go up like this, The one that will come up is this one. People are dancing like this. What will you do? Because you also want to embrace. Let's say I have stayed with South Sudanese. I like South Sudanese people. I have friends from there. I want to impress them. What do? I dance to that. And even right now, to show you, to also surprise you the more, very prominent urban artists are using the same sounds. They are using the same traditional style.
Yeah.
So it is a revolution to create a South Sudanese identity.
From the traditional music.
From that traditional music.
If you take advantage of that, I think.
And so if that happens, that will become now, if you talk about South Sudanese music,
Identity.
people will be talking about this. Thank you.
Yes, viewer, thank you so much for following. This is still your program, that is my story, and I've been Prince Ijuk. Remember, this program comes live every Friday exactly from 10 a.m. in the morning. I'm out.